Welcome back to AI for the People. You know, where we kind of like to jump headfirst into the world of
Okay, so
AI.
excited.
And today,
Yeah.
today is no different.
Mm-hmm.
We are tackling a question that seems to be on everyone's mind these days.
Oh, yeah.
Is generative AI, is it a threat to creativity,
Mm-hmm.
or is it a tool for
Yeah.
innovation?
A tool.
I mean, it's a question with no easy answers,
It's a huge question, right? I mean, especially now
especially now.
with these tools that are coming out like OpenAI Sora and Runway's Gen 4. I mean, these things are really pushing the boundaries of what is possible.
It's incredible.
They're not just like little tech demos anymore.
Right.
These are impacting real-world creative fields.
I mean, think about Sora, right?
Yeah.
You can create photorealistic videos just from text prompts.
Yeah.
And Gen 4, it can transform an existing video into something totally different,
Right.
just with a few clicks. It's
Yeah.
mind-blowing.
It's incredible.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why we're here today, to unpack all of this. That's right.
So, what do you think? Is this a creative renaissance?
Huh.
Or are we on a slippery slope toward a world where human artists are just
Yeah.
obsolete?
Interesting question.
We want to hear what you think.
Yeah,
Jump into the comments, let us know.
for sure.
But let's dive in
Okay.
to the tech itself.
Yeah.
I mean, Sora, for example, uses a diffusion model,
Mm-hmm.
kind of similar to what we've seen with AI image generators.
All right.
But instead of just doing these static images,
Yep.
it can create these complex scenes,
No, yeah.
moving images,
Really quick.
videos, and
Yeah. Yeah, it learns to predict what comes next in a video sequence.
right.
Just based on massive amounts of data.
And that's where things get interesting.
Right.
All of these models, they're trained on huge data sets, right? Just images, videos,
Yeah, anything you can think of.
tons of text, you name it. And it's learning to mimic these patterns and styles that it finds.
Yeah. And that's how it generates such realistic and complex
Right.
outputs.
Exactly, yeah. And that's what's fueling some of the concerns, right?
It is.
If an AI is trained on, let's say, a data set of artwork,
Mm-hmm.
is it truly creating something new?
Right.
Or is it simply just like replicating and remixing
Yeah.
existing styles?
It's a great question.
Right.
And it's one that Dr. Lee Wei has been exploring, right? He's an AI researcher. And he argues that these tools, they can amplify human creativity by taking over repetitive tasks.
Sure.
I mean, imagine you're a musician and you have AI that can generate different arrangements for your latest song. I mean, you'd be free then to just experiment and refine the core melody
Totally.
while the AI just handles all the technical aspects.
That would be amazing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like having like a tireless assistant who can just handle all that grunt work and just free up your time and mental energy for the really creative parts.
Yeah, and I can see how that would be a game changer
Yeah,
for a lot of artists and creators out there.
for sure.
I mean, it's almost like leveling the playing field,
Absolutely.
giving individuals and even small teams access to tools and capabilities that were previously just available to, huge studios or
Got it.
corporations.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's
Well,
that's what a lot of proponents of AI are saying, right? They're saying this is the democratization of creativity.
Right.
This is a golden age of creative expression where anyone with an idea
Mm-hmm.
and access to these tools can bring it to life.
It's an incredibly optimistic view.
It is.
And it's definitely exciting
Right.
to think about all the possibilities.
Yeah.
But, like you mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
there's some concerns as well.
Absolutely. We have to acknowledge
Yeah.
the worries of artists who are afraid of being replaced or having their unique styles mimicked
Yeah.
without consent.
It's not easy.
Complicated.
It's not black and white.
Yeah, it's not black and white.
I mean, for example, if AI generates an image in the style of a living artist,
Yeah,
where do we draw the line?
right.
Where's the line between inspiration and plagiarism?
Right.
I mean, who owns the copyright to that output?
It's a good question.
I mean, these are complex.
It is, yeah. And these are complex legal and ethical questions that we as a society are really still grappling with.
Yeah.
And they're being fiercely debated online. Have you seen the hashtag, the AI creativity hashtag, and the human vs AI hashtag trending?
Oh, yeah. People are passionate about this.
People are really getting into it.
And we ran a poll on our AI for the People's social media pages.
Right.
And the results were really interesting.
Oh, cool.
58% of our viewers believe that AI enhances creativity, but 42% of them see it as a threat.
Wow.
It's clear there is no
No easy answers.
consensus.
Yeah.
No.
And that's why it's so important to hear from all sorts of different voices and perspectives.
Right.
Dr. Emily Zhang,
Yeah.
who is an AI ethicist, she has been advocating for regulations to protect human creativity in this new landscape.
Right.
She argues that without
Clear guidelines.
clear guidelines, we risk devaluing art and the artists behind it.
That makes sense.
Right.
But you can't ignore the potential consequences for individuals and these creative industries.
Exactly.
But then you have entrepreneurs like John Smith who view AI as the inevitable future of creativity.
Right.
And he believes these tools are opening up entirely new avenues for creative expression and innovation.
It's so interesting how those two viewpoints really highlight the tension between fostering innovation and protecting
Existing
artistic practices.
Yeah.
It's a really difficult balance to
This
strike.
tension is playing out globally.
It is.
I mean, different countries are taking such different approaches to AI integration and regulation.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, China, for example, is rapidly embracing AI in their creative industries.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they're using tools like Baidu's Wengsun for everything. Songwriting,
I've heard of that.
script writing, you name it.
Yeah, wow.
But meanwhile, Europe is taking a more cautious approach.
Right.
They're prioritizing the protection of artists' rights and intellectual property.
Interesting.
It's a global conversation.
It is, yes.
With no easy answers.
Absolutely.
It really does make you wonder, like, what kind of balance do we want?
Right.
What values should guide our approach to AI in the creative realm?
It's a great question for all of us to think about.
And we would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Absolutely.
Head over to our AI for the People socials.
Yes.
Let's keep this conversation going.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. It's fascinating to see how these global perspectives are shaping things. I mean, it's not just about the tech itself, is it? It's about the cultural and societal values that inform how we use AI,
Totally.
how we integrate it.
Yeah. It's a good reminder that this isn't just a theoretical debate.
Yeah.
I mean, AI is already impacting these creative industries all over the world, and we really need to be engaged in shaping how it evolves.
I think one of the biggest challenges that we're facing is moving beyond this idea of AI versus human creativity.
Yeah.
What if we started thinking about AI as a collaborator and not a competitor?
That's a really interesting thought. Instead of fearing that AI is going to take over creative jobs, what if we see it as a tool to enhance our own ability?
Exactly. What if it could help us be even more creative than we already are?
Exactly.
Right? Imagine an architect using AI to generate different building design, or a filmmaker using AI to create these crazy, realistic visual effects that would have been impossible to do manually.
Yeah,
it's finding ways for AI to augment human creativity.
Yeah, not replace it.
Not replace it.
Right.
And that's where we start to see the potential for real groundbreaking innovation.
That's right.
I mean, we're already seeing glimpses of it.
We are.
I mean, musicians are using AI to create unique soundscapes.
Totally.
Diners are using AI to incorporate AI-generated patterns into their work. Writers are using AI to overcome writer's block or explore different possibilities.
Yeah, that's right. It's almost like AI is becoming like this new creative instrument in and of itself. Yeah. Just like a painter uses brushes and paints, or a musician uses instruments. Right. AI can be another tool.
It's a tool.
In the creative arsenal. Yeah. And just like any tool, it all comes down to how we choose to use it. It does.
We have the power to determine whether AI becomes a force for good in this creative realm, or something that ultimately diminishes human expression.
It's up to us.
It is.
Yeah. And it's about finding that right balance. Yeah. And I think that requires a lot of discussion and consideration. I mean, we need to be asking questions like, how can we ensure that AI-generated content is labeled as such?
Right. Transparency is key.
How can we protect the intellectual property rights of human creators when their work is used to train these AI models?
That's a big one.
These are important questions.
They are, and they highlight the need for
transparency
and accountability.
We can't just blindly adopt these technologies without thinking about the consequences.
Right, exactly.
And one thing that often gets lost in this whole debate is this concept of
artistic soul.
That's a big one.
I mean, critics often argue that AI art lacks the soul and the unpredictability of human art.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we mean by soul in this context?
Like, what does that even mean?
I mean, it's
one of those things that's so hard to define.
It is hard to define.
But we often know it.
You know it when you see it.
When we see it, yeah.
Right. It's that intangible quality that connects us to the artist's inner world.
Right.
Their thoughts, their feelings, their experiences.
Right. It's the raw emotion, the vulnerability, the lived experience that is poured into the art that a human being creates.
Yeah, but can AI ever truly replicate that?
That's the question.
Can an algorithm ever understand and express the complexities of the human condition in the same way that a human artist can?
It's a really interesting question.
I mean, it's a question that
it's a big one.
Philosophers and artists are grappling with right now.
Yeah, they are.
Some believe that AI will never be able to capture the essence of human experience, while others see the potential for AI to develop its own unique form of soul.
Yeah, as it evolves. It's a fascinating debate.
It is, and we would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yes.
What does artistic soul mean to you?
What does it mean to you?
Can AI create art that moves you?
Yeah.
Inspires you? Makes you feel something deep down?
Yeah.
We want to know.
We want to know.
Head over to our AI for the People social media pages.
Yes.
Share your perspective. I mean, it's amazing to think about how AI is really making us rethink what it means to be creative.
Right.
And what it means to be human.
Totally.
But, beyond all the philosophical questions, there's some real-world implications that we got to think about.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the big ones is how it's going to impact the livelihoods of creative professionals. I mean, if AI can generate music, art, even entire films, what happens to all the musicians, the artists, the filmmakers who rely on those skills to make a living?
It's a valid concern.
It is.
And it's one that we need to be
for sure
proactive about addressing.
Yeah, I mean, some experts are saying that AI is going to create all these new job opportunities in fields like AI training, data curation, even AI-assisted creative direction. But then you have others who are worried that certain creative roles are going to be displaced. And that's going to lead to...
Yeah, it could be significant.
And lead to some economic challenges.
And it's not just about individual livelihoods either.
Right.
We got to think about the potential impact on cultural diversity and artistic expression.
That's a big one.
I mean, if algorithms are being trained on these dominant cultural data sets, will they just perpetuate existing biases and homogenize all this creative output?
It's a real risk, and it really highlights how important it is to make sure that AI is being developed and used in a way that promotes inclusivity and diversity. We need lots of different voices and perspectives involved in developing these technologies to make sure that they reflect the richness and complexity
of human culture. It's about using AI to empower creativity. Not to stifle it.
Right. Not to shut it down.
Right. And it's about embracing those possibilities while acknowledging that there could be some pitfalls.
Absolutely.
And it's about having these conversations openly and honestly. So that we can shape a future where AI and human creativity can coexist and thrive.
Exactly. Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's what AI for the people is all about.
It is.
We want to give you the knowledge and the insights you need
to navigate
a crazy world.
This rapidly changing world.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question.
Ooh, I like it.
If AI could perfectly replicate any artistic style, would we still value human creativity?
That's a good one.
Would the meaning of art change if we knew it wasn't created by a human hand or a human heart?
It really makes you think.
It's a question that really challenges us to think about what makes art meaningful and what role
makes it matter
human expression plays in our lives.
I don't think there are any easy answers to that one.
There aren't, but
it's a conversation worth having.
It's a conversation worth having.
For sure.
So head over to our social media pages at AI for the People.
Yes.
And share your thoughts using the hashtag AI creativity.
We want to hear from you.
We want to hear your hopes, your fears, your vision for the future of art in the age of AI. Because ultimately, the future of AI is up to all of us.
It is.
It's a future that we're all creating together.
Yeah.
One conversation.
One question.
One question.
Per creative act at a time.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for being here.
Into the world of AI and creativity.
We hope you found it insightful.
We hope you found it insightful, thought-provoking, and inspiring.
And remember, stay curious, stay engaged.
Stay curious, stay engaged.
And keep creating.
Keep creating.
We'll see you next time.
Until next time, this is AI for the People, signing off.